live.tv, and we're here at the Magnified London Warehouse Party with DJ producer Tom Flynn, fresh off the decks. Nice set, Tom.
Thank you.
Some exclusive bangers in there this evening.
Yeah, there was. I think I played like 4 or 5 sort of back, but will be coming on Hot Creations later in the year, like one in the summer and then later in the year. So they were. I don't want to big it up or anything, but they were absolutely. I've played them before, and Jamie's played them, and a couple of others, and we know they work. So it was good. It's good. It didn't clear the floor.
That's always a good sign.
Yeah. When they clear the floor, you know it's time to go back to the studio.
So what software do you use?
I mix down in Logic and predominantly create in Ableton. I used to be just exclusively Logic, but I think Ableton's so much better just for getting the ideas out of your head, especially after the weekend when it comes to Monday or Tuesday and you get in the studio. Like Logic is a bit linear, and I'm sure the new one's cool, but I don't know, I just found a really cool sort of way of working with Ableton. I used to rewire the two together and then do a lot of live passes from Ableton to Logic, but no, now everything's kind of Ableton, and then I'm sort of one of those producers that got caught up in the stigma that Ableton's no good for mixing. If it sounds good in Ableton, I'll leave it, but generally I'll stem it out and mix it in Logic.
Oh, don't be looking at me like I'm crazy.
My early influences was so across the board, and it was a case of listening to everything and working stuff out of how is that done. Claude Von Stroke was a massive influence. Yeah, because he's so stupid. And I know Claude, and Claude will love me for that, but he is when Claude goes into the studio, he just makes records that are so different and funny and quirky. That's what that whole Dirty Bird sound was built on,
Yeah, he's got a good sense of humor.
It's so crazy and weird, and to achieve that you really have to know a lot about synths and sampling. That's not just dunk 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 on a keyboard. And
how did it come about that you signed to release music on Dirty Bird and Anabatic and Hot Creations?
It was just for Dirty Bird, and I suppose for Hot Creations as well, just sending them records. I was literally sending Claude records, and then one day he just hit me up and he was like, a couple of these are cool. He was like, they're close, but I'm not going to sign them. And he just said, keep sending. And then once one sort of hits up, you generally sort of find a little pattern and a workflow, that works for you.
Girl, let me tell you, if you are a size 14, you are a hoochie.
At what point in your career did you think, right, I'm really starting to succeed here? Because I mean, you've had awards from Pete Tong, Best Breakthrough Producer, been releasing tunes on some of the biggest record labels in house and techno. When for you is it I'm onto a thing here?
I guess when I sent Pete the Bianca record, Pete was playing a couple of my records, the Mowgli remix was really big at the time, and I'd been sending Pete stuff and he was never replying, and then one day he just hit me up out the blue and he was like, I've been playing a lot of your stuff, keep sending, blah blah blah, and sort of built a connection. And then I sent him this track called Bianca, and I was like, this tune's weird, just check it out. And he emailed me back within 10 minutes or something. He was like, this is hot, and played it on his show about 10 times. And I was like, wow, it was nuts, you know, like it totally took my breath away. So when someone like Pete gets on board and supports you, he's got such a good ear, so you sort of know, you think if you can please his ear, you think I must be onto something, you know. So yeah.
So I hear that you two are collaborating at the moment.
Yeah, we just done a track on Pets Recordings on Cats and Dogs label with me, Paul Rogers, who's an amazing producer, and Pete, and yeah, there's other stuff. We must have had like 5 or 6 tracks sort of wrapped up and testing them out and everything, and Pete goes all the way around the world like 6 times every weekend and then comes back and says, change the kick drum, how about we do this, how about we do that. So some of them don't see the light of day. Pete will love me for that. But yeah, no, like, you know, we've got stuff coming, but it's not totally, it has to be right, you know, like it's close.
And so have you had any nightmare moments or embarrassing moments DJing?
I've stopped the wrong record a few times.
I've done that before.
That's key. That's always key. I played in London with Von Stroke last year, and it was an absolute sweatbox, like you wouldn't believe. And it's not so much my embarrassing moment, but Claude ended up playing in his pants. So I was sort of embarrassed for him. That's how hot it was. Yeah, it was crazy. But no, just I've missed planes. I've got on wrong trains. Everyone's done that, you know. Yeah.
So what have you got coming up in 2014, and where do you want to take your career from here? Like what do you want? What have you still not achieved?
I don't think I've totally achieved like the sound that I want, that I have in my head a lot of times. But that takes so long. It can take years to really achieve where you want to go. I don't set so many goals because then you're sort of tied in to like, you have this like, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. And really when you think like that, if you go into the studio thinking I've got to make a hot record, you get further and further away, and it doesn't work like that. So I'm just very sort of relaxed on that, and I know what I want to do and where I want to go. Hi, this is Tom Flynn. You're watching DMO Live TV. Don't miss out.